Hey, thanks for the follow, Az.
Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. It is the second episode of the Partisans of Parsh, our executive producer season. I'm Ross, I get to GM, there's a little nameplate that says it right there. And this is our executive producer season for Dice for Brains. Welcome to the stream. If you are a little behind, we've got some VODs up here and on YouTube as well. So there's also, it's out in pod form, there's character creation if you're interested. So feel free to catch up after this stream. You won't be missing too terribly much. You'll be fine to listen or watch. Got to get used to that. A little bit out of order. If you are interested in helping support the show, please head over to patreon.com/diceforbrains. This season and the ability to live stream and everything is basically funded by our patrons. So thank you if you are here in Twitch and or listening later. We love you very much. Thank you, thank you. Otherwise, I think it's time to get started with the show. So here we go. Hello everyone, and hello cast and characters for
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
I'm good.
Fantastic.
Good.
Excellent.
You guys good?
You're good.
Good.
Wonderful.
I like good.
I don't know if you've seen that crawl. I get excited every time, so I'm doing great right now. Plus, you're all filthy rebel scum, and now you're in my little playpen. Yay! This is gonna be fun.
Uh-oh.
And we were practicing dice rolls, so we're about to get very, very creative, hopefully.
Already got one to spare today.
Right, it's out of the way. Thank you.
Quiet, Eileen.
That's the way we feel about it right now. I
So-
withhold the right to change my mind and attitude later.
I just had to get it out of the system.
So welcome to the second episode of the Partisans of Parsh, everyone. Let's do some introductions. Susan, do you want to start?
Sure. I'm Susan White, and my character is Soli Drift. She's a Claudite, and she is a spy infiltrator, which means that she likes to put her paws on other people's stuff and take it. Hopefully for the good of the rebel cause, of course, but also for her own personal motivations, which are mostly to rescue her brother who has been kidnapped by the evil empire. And her duty is resource acquisition, aka stealing.
Wonderful. Eileen?
I'm next. Yay. Okay, so I have to write this whole order down because I forget things. Anyhow, my name is Eileen Shaw. Hi, I ramble if you don't know that already. My character's name is Salcoldia. She is a Salonian. I am a spy as well, so is my character. And her career is Slicer. My motivation is, let me see, I always forget this. It's a connection type, and it is to prevent the Empire from bringing more to Salonia and to keep my den safe. Live.
Excellent. Brendan?
Hi, Brendan. Playing Nullus Nuv. He's a Sulston. He's a ace driver. His motivation is vengeance. He wants to see the Empire destroyed because they killed his friends and family back on his home planet. And his duty is space superiority, though we kind of extend that to just be any vehicle combat superiority.
To be good at flying and shooting and winning wars. Yay. Shu, what about you, sir?
Oh, hi. I am Joshua Reynolds. I'll be playing Pal Eden, who's a soldier commando, and his motivations are glory, and his ambition, I would say, is his motivation, and the end result of that would be personal glory and equipment. And his belief is honor is kind of thrown in there as well. Excellent.
All right. Well, as customary, I want to know a little bit more about these characters before we get started. I think last time we learned about why you all joined the rebellion. What I want to know now is what's bonding your little squadron together. So, Soli, can you tell me about just kind of any time you bonded with one of your crewmates here?
Sure. The last episode, we were getting ourselves to the planet of Parsh, and Soli has always had a fascination with the mechanical workings of the ship, and so she's always kind of hanging around Nullus and kind of looking over his shoulder and trying to see exactly how it is that he flies this amazing piece of machinery. It's just so complicated. She can't even begin to understand all the different skills that he has and all the multiple tasks that he has to do at the same time. Also, she kind of she's kind of building a friendship, I think, with Nullus because he reminds her a little bit of her older brother. And so
okay.
she's gonna kind of hang around him as much as she can. She knows that she's being kind of a pest, and she asks him a lot of questions when he's kind of busy, and he kind of, okay, I'm busy, just leave me alone right now, Soli, and she's always kind of pestering him and wanting to know how stuff works. But what she's really doing is she kind of likes him, and she wants to kind of get on his good side. And the question is she going to do that, or is she going to just annoy the heck out of him so that he just doesn't want to talk to her?
So does this come from just like that youthful ability to consume knowledge at such a rapid rate it boggles other people's minds, or is this like some kind of desire for that family connection again?
No, it's totally an emotional response.
Okay.
She really, really is very lonely. She's much, much younger than the rest of her shipmates. She's only 19. and she really misses that older male person who protects her and kind of watches out for her. And so she's constantly searching for that relationship among the people that she works with or the people that she may suddenly find on the planet.
Got it. And Salcoldia, what about you? Can you tell us about a time you bonded with one of your crewmates?
Yes. Can I ask Susan a question real quick?
Sure.
Certainly, go ahead.
Susan, is your character truly 19, or is she disguising herself to be a 19-year-old?
Oh, that was on my question list. That's a good question. I wanted to know that too.
Yes, she is truly 19. She lost her brother a couple of years ago. So she's been with the rebellion for, however long we have been together. I was going to say like maybe we've been together for 2 years or something like that. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah, that's about right. Yep.
So, we definitely know each other, and we've gotten to be a team or whatever. And, but she's very, very young. She's much younger than all of you guys. And she's missing that parental, emotional support.
Well, thank you for answering that for me. So to go back to Ross's question, I think it's circumstance that bonds them for Salcoldia, because she's used to these closed off dens where everybody's kind of in close quarters. And when we're in a U-wing all trapped together, it's pretty close quarters, especially for a 6'7" gal like Salcoldia. In her world, the females are just everywhere and there's very few men, and the males in her population, they're just seen as breeders. So getting used to having men in her unit, I guess, that she had to bond with and learn to see them as equals and not her slaves, essentially, had been a challenge. Because she still thinks she's a wee bit better than the male population, but I think she probably bonds with Pal a little bit more just because he's got that height on him and she can almost see eye to eye. She's still towering over everybody, but I think that in her mind kind of makes him more female.
Right. No, I get that. You associate that with more of the warrior aspect than any kind of...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And what about Nullus? Can you tell us about a time you bonded with one of your crewmates or whatever?
Crewmate. I think it was more of a slow thing for Nullus.
Okay.
Just because he lost so many people.
Right.
When he first joined, he didn't really have a lot of... wasn't trying to open up and form friendships or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just slowly getting to know his crewmates. Especially the last mission where we had to just work really hard together just to even get out of there.
Right. So that was kind of the final glue needed to bond you together in Nullus's eyes?
Yeah.
His
I think
big
that was
eyes.
when it finally clicked that it's more than just crewmates, it's actual friends he's with now.
Right. Excellent. And what about Pal? Is he the bonding sort? How does that work for him?
Well, Pal will tell you that Nullus tries to play distance, but he's flown a lot of missions with him.
Gotcha.
And Pal remembers the first time they did an extraction and picked up Sally. And he remembers the time all three of us were packed up to go pick up this new slicer on some strange homeworld. We wound up packed up underground with giant ferret women. Who turned out to be quite hospitable but a little bit condescending.
Right.
Just a little bit.
Right. Well, the tails too, so you got to watch out for that.
Well, they're running around on all fours all over the place. You got to watch out for everything. Climbing walls. We had to climb 2 stories to get to our sleeping dens inside a cave.
You had fun.
Oh, I did. I did have fun. If one thing that your people know how to do is to ferment things.
We're very honest.
So you bonded with Nullus kind of assembling the team way back when, a couple of years ago.
Nullis and I have been assigned together because of our talents, and we've largely done escorts and extractions. We've extracted down pilots. We've escorted double agents.
Nice.
We've
Yeah,
done
and I
a
guess,
number of
like,
jobs
tactically,
together, but we weren't always necessarily partnered together. On the same vessel. He's basically the skipper here, though. Always has been for the last couple of years.
gotcha.
But maybe I'm rambling on.
So, like, tactically, you work very well together in a U-wing, too. Like, sort of just
Yes,
with your whole... Yeah, okay.
Yes, I've totally been strapped to the side of the gunnery door while he
Yep.
made evasive maneuvers for us to pick up a downed Y-wing pilot.
I see it. Absolutely. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much for answering my questions, everyone.
A little bit for everybody, right?
Yeah, so does everyone remember what happened last week?
The rest of our entire wing, I would say, or our cell, were blown up.
You're hanging that over me already. That was exposition. That was pre-crawl information.
Okay. However, that being the case, it affects everyone's mood on board.
It does. It does. In more ways than one. It does. So you got to the planet of Parsh, but that in and of itself wasn't super easy. But thanks to some backup slicing and whatnot, you found your way down to the planet to rendezvous with, who was it? It was Otis, correct?
Yes, I remember Otis. He was flying a heavily modified X-Wing.
That he was. And he taught you how to fly into the base properly, which you almost did. Like, you were
That
pretty
was
close.
Nullis did just fine. He was pretending to mess up just to give us a scare.
Got you. A little humbling side swipe of some metallic rock. Okay. No, that makes sense. But you did manage to get into the base, so hooray. That was certainly what you set out to do, although ideally with more squadron mates, much to the chagrin of the weirdly kind of power vacuumed rebel cells that exist on Parsh.
Yeah, I would say that probably the crew is feeling kind of depressed and possibly a little bit guilty because they're the only ones that showed up, and all these people were expecting like 15 other ships, and we're just like, oh gosh, sorry guys. I mean, we made it. It's not really our fault, but
Yeah, it wasn't great. But let's get started with episode 2. Let's see if our plucky little rebel crew can turn the fates around here on Parsh. Brendan, do you want to roll some duty for us to start with?
Sure. I think we're still at 40.
Yep.
And it's actually lost. Here we are.
Gonna be.
Oh,
And
so
over
close. So close. All right, so no duty has been triggered for this episode. But, we've still got motivations to play with. We've got lots of fun stuff that we could be after here. So, where we start is a hallway on the rebel base built inside of the rock formation under Atreyu City on the planet of Parsh. You're not meeting eye lines, or maybe eye lines aren't meeting you, of rebel soldiers and operatives and medical technicians that are passing you in the hallways. As everyone's sort of mumbling, the knowledge of what's happened has gotten around the base already. So everybody knows this is what was showing up to help. Originally, your squadron was going to be used to execute a multi-pronged attack that was hopefully going to drive the Empire off the planet, or at least hamper them drastically in their recruiting. Soldiers are one of the number one exports from this planet. So there's a lot going on that they really needed some help with that unfortunately you're not going to be able to deliver on. But Otis is still taking you to meet the heads of the various cells. So there's 3 primary rebel cells operating on this planet. The previous commander has left for another mission. The Alliance has called them up to go deal with something else, and left a bit of a power struggle here on in the rebel base. So you are standing outside of a large metal door at the end of a long hallway. Otis is waiting to open it and let you in. So do you guys have any like last minute questions before you go meet everybody?
We're standing outside the ship, you mean?
No, you're standing outside of this office, you think, anyways. It's well within the rebel base outside of the hangar.
Oh, so we've already exited the ship. Got it.
Oh, yeah, yep. You were walking up this way at the end of the last episode.
Alrighty, great.
All right, well, I guess let's go meet everybody and
Let's get it
give
on.
them the
Absolutely.
some kind of positive spin. There's probably one here, right, somewhere. Look,
Well,
everybody got in. Everybody got into the base. Let's focus on that, at least to start with. And he reaches his hand out to a panel on the side of the door, punches in a key, and the door whoops up. You see a small war room. Like you expected something a bit more grand coming in here, but it's like a tiny little, almost like a trailer-sized room. There's a table, a long table in the center of it. It's got a hollow projection of Atreyu City, the main floating island with the full expanse of the inverted mountain underneath it that the base is in. It's like the ceiling's very low. There's about maybe 8 chairs around that table and some other seating rimming the room. There's a large computer that can pull up a display, pulls up various information, probably powers the panel. And there are currently 2 people in this room right now. And there is a female figure. She's got like long, thick hair. It's kind of like tied together in braids and different knots and stuff like that. She's got on, kind of like an orator's outfit. Like it's a rebel uniform, but it's not quite an officer's uniform. And there's certainly nothing really like soldiery about it. It looks more comfortable, look almost like maybe accounting or one of the auxiliary departments. But she's still got this big heavy blaster on her hip, and she's leaning over the hollow table like exasperated, looking sort of in the direction of this other figure. And he's sitting in a chair with his feet up on the table. He's got these big chunky boots on, a long kind of duster jacket that's scratching the bottom of the floor, or scratching the floor a little bit, and this big wide brim hat kind of pulled down. And just as you enter, they both stop talking. And a droid that was, you would assume, from the side of the door, then turns immediately to face you. Welcome, new allies. Thank you so much for joining us here. I am Bev. Would you care for some coffee or tea?
Beverages would be nice there, Bev.
He's got a little tray, and there's all sorts of various sized glasses and drinks laid out. Please take what you'd like. Thank you.
Well, I would like to pivot focus to the humans. You said there was 2 of them, right? Can you
Yes,
describe
they're
them a
both
little bit?
looking at you now.
And who's the other person?
There's 2 human figures in the room, and then this weird-looking military protocol droid that's all banged up with a tray of drinks.
All right. Well, I'm going to salute them and say they're the crew of the Aegis 2, reporting for duty.
The gentleman in the wide-brimmed hat goes, "See, look, I bet they're about ready. That sounds good." The woman turns to you.
I'm Extraction Officer Pal Eden. This is Noel Nulliv, skipper of the Aegis 2. We have Infiltrator Sally and Sulcodia, Information Ops.
Welcome to Parsh. I'm Bronwyn. I'm sort of in charge right now, I guess. The figure in the chair leans his head all the way back and puts his hand on his hat and says, "I'm Tanga. Good to meet y'all." And looks back up at the woman.
Tanga and Brandon?
Onwin.
Bronwyn. But
Bronwyn?
that's closer than most people get first try.
Sorry, Commander Bronwyn. Commander Tanga.
I'm sorry to hear about your previous engagement. I do appreciate you joining us here.
We're here to do everything we can, sir. I'm sure that whatever plans that you had, unfortunately, have to be changed. But it's not going to diminish our enthusiasm for getting the job done.
She starts to stand up straight and then sighs and sits down. This is already going badly today. I appreciate that. You're absolutely correct. We've got to make some serious adjustments to our plans, and at this point, it's arguable whether we do anything at all. But we were waiting for Lieutenant Talek to arrive, but we have not heard anything from him, and he is not answering his communicator right now.
Excuse me, sir, Lieutenant whom?
Talek? It's head of Spec Ops.
Aye,
I've
aye.
seen.
Was he out on a mission?
It wasn't supposed to be. But yeah, probably that's what they do, and they're not real shy about it. I wish they took more care when executing operations, but our previous command has left the base, and we did not necessarily have a succession plan in place. So we're having a bit of a command issue, you could say.
Well, you know those shadows, sir. You never know what they're going to be doing. They play their cards close to their chest, says Pal, as he looks over at the two spies in the room.
Not quite here. It's a little worse than that. And you got to deal with a population that you got to convince it's okay to even do this. But we need to get started. So I'm gonna try Talek again. She turns around to the computer station behind her and hits a comm button. It buzzes a few times, and then eventually somebody picks up. They've got a helmet on, like a full face thing that is completely blocking everything. You can't make out any kind of facial structure through it whatsoever.
Oh, I like it.
Now is not a good time. What? Well, we have the new pilots, the squadron, they're in place. Were you going to attend this meeting, perhaps, or no? Look, now is not a good time. We ran into an issue here. It's I'm probably not going to be coming back, and you might want to clear Escape Hatch Alpha. Oh no. Okay. Call me if you need anything, and she hangs up. Oh. So that's not great either.
What did
Here,
you mean?
Commander Bronwyn, have some tea. And start distributing beverages from the combat model droid.
Excellent. Everyone has a drink. There's a lot of silence floating around in this room. There is tension between Bronwyn and Tenga. You can see they're kind of posturing as much as they can in their chairs, but they're both also just really, really tired. The display of Atreyu City just kind of spins very slowly around. You get a really nice view of how everything's broken up. There seems to be on the plateau area, there's 3 main city chunks, and it's divided by grassy forest areas, and everything's kind of overgrown from the sides with these cliff structures and big trees and different plant life growing over. It looks really cool. It looks almost like a vacation spot or something like that. It's gorgeous.
Is there anyone else in this room besides just the 2 commanders in this droid?
Nope, and all of you.
What was Escape Hatch Alpha?
It's one of our surface exits. I assume that might mean either they got into trouble near there, or that entrance is possibly being detected. Neither of which are good, and we don't have a lot of soldiers available right now.
Well, we've done a lot of solo missions together. We can check it out for you. What do you guys think?
Sounds like a good place to start.
Something to do.
Soli?
Yeah, absolutely. I can help.
You up for it, kid?
Wait,
Yeah, definitely.
you're gonna trust them, and you were giving me all kinds of guff for showing up here to start with? Oh hell! All right.
I assume this is Mr. Tanga talking, right?
Yes, yeah. The gentleman in the duster lets out an exasperated sigh.
I just say room for one more, man.
Nah, I appreciate it. If we're done here, I did something to my back. I think I'm gonna head over to medical.
Breeders.
Bronwyn rolls her eyes very skeptically as he stretches.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know you just got here, but it is a rebel base. I'm sure they could use a hand.
And that settles it.
How do we get to this entrance point Alpha?
Take Otis. He'll run your command, and he'll tell you. He'll show you how to get there. I guess, as I'm command right now, go get Lieutenant Alec back and bring him here, and we'll do this meeting for real, I guess.
All right, what kind of time frame do we have here? We might need to take a quick look around and maybe refresh ourselves after our travel. And
it sounded like it sounded like now is when you would need to go. I mean, it's near the entrance point, and they might be under fire. He said something about his team getting something. So
I kind of look sideways over at Salcudia, like for being so anxious to throw us in the middle of action right away.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
It is
handle Kyle?
appreciated.
Not everyone can stick with a Salonian, so I understand if you're a little nervous.
So is Salcudia just leading the charge right out of this room?
Yeah. She's flicking her tail like a cat.
Yeah, I'm not nervous, Salcudia. I just buried a whole bunch of, I guess, what you call your clutch mates.
Mm.
Oh no, that's right, I didn't. They just died 2 hours ago.
True. And I can see how that can make you sentimental.
All right, yeah.
Does anybody need anything from the ship? Or can we just head over there?
Are we taking the ship?
Didn't sound that way.
Let's go get Otis and figure this out.
So you leave the command center room?
Oh, yes, with a salute. We to our very unenthusiastic, ineffective commander.
You get a salute back from the accidental commander who is doing their very best, thank you, and a head nod from Tanga as you leave the room. Otis is in the hallway messing around with a data pad and a droid. Hey, how'd it go?
It was a picnic. Is there anywhere a fighting rebel scum can get a stiff drink before he has to go back out to gun down some enemies?
I mean, we can go root through a locker in the barracks. We don't have like a cantina.
No wonder the morale's so terrible around here.
We can go up to the surface. I mean, usually.
Oh, let's see what we got down here. We need to do a quick sit rep because we're going to be going to, what was it called again, Silcudia?
That place to go find the lieutenant. Hatch escape Alpha?
Alpha, yeah,
Lieutenant.
Thanks.
You
So
guys
come
were
on,
only
and I
in
put
there
my
like
arm- I put my
5
arm around
minutes. What did you get into?
I put my arm around Otis and be like, come on, man, we'll explain it really quickly over a shot of whatever you can find.
It's on the other side of the base. All right, come on, let's go.
Let's walk and talk. And we give him, I guess, the closest thing we've done to a debriefing so far.
Excellent. So you fill Otis in on what you're doing on the way to the hatch, to the surface. It's a long, well-lit, hallwayed walk where it's equal parts metal and rocky surface. You don't really catch any of those like pockets of magnetization as you go. There's a lot less people coming through this way. Like the base is fairly sparse on population right now. You gather that, and what you do run across doesn't usually like even look at you. So, but you cross through various hallways, past the mess, past barracks, past all sorts of other rebel-y, basey type things, and you end up at a lift. Basically, it's a big like emergency lift. It's not huge, so like maybe all four of you, if you packed in really tight, you could probably do it in one go. But it's not a lot of space, unfortunately.
I don't know. So because like, are you suggesting it's dangerous if all five of us pack on?
Oh, Otis is not going with you. Otis has he's going to run command from down here.
Okay. Then I guess let's pack in together, gang. Is the gear all right, Otis? Can we just go up here wearing this?
Yeah, I mean, if you got it on you, you should be fine. I don't see how it would be bad.
Okay. Well, all right. After you, everybody. I assume that the door is the entrance and exit.
Yeah, so it's on like a bit of a cylinder base, so it kind of opens with a rounded shape, so the four of you could pile in. So Cody, you got to duck a little bit
Or a lot.
and plus everyone's got like big bags on full of guns and other things like that. So
I've got a shield and a rifle.
yeah, there's a lot of extra bulk in here that you weren't really accounting on.
And I want you all to squeeze in as much as you can because I want to be by the door with the shield aiming outwards.
Yes.
Oh, pal, you're poking me with that. Stop it.
You're poking me with your bony elbows.
It seemed a lot bigger on the inside, but it is not. And the four of you are mushed in a way that it would take several maneuvers or rounds to even get anything out of your bags. You're almost completely defenseless in this position. It's unfortunate.
Fortunately, I have a shield pressed up against the door.
Yep, there you go.
And we have a giant, in effect, like a 7-foot long glaive in here.
Yep.
Right? Yes.
It's
that's at like an angle.
In this... Just don't touch the end.
I'm trying not to.
Please, yeah.
I like holding onto my fingers. By the way, Sally, did you notice anything worth? What was your take on the situation down there? You're the infiltrator.
This is a lovely conversation to have in a very tight lift ride.
We have some privacy, sort of. So I think
that's
now's
true.
the time.
Very good point.
Well, seems like that commander was just really not into her job at all.
Yeah, that's pretty easily read. What do you think of the other commander? He didn't seem very military to me, did he?
No, I mean, I thought we were coming to this planet to like, kick some butt and take some names, man. What's going on? These people are like, they're like half asleep.
Yeah, they don't seem to have any fight in them. I don't know. Maybe if we kick around the hornet's nest, they'll have something to swat at.
I don't like bugs.
You like bugs, don't you?
No, I hate bugs. They're nasty.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I keep forgetting that. Is there music in here?
Yes, and you have just moments to appreciate it before the door opens. You're like, wow, that talking really was covering up the sound of this awful music, which was great, and now it is not.
Why?
But it's a short distance left, and the lift comes to a stop. You can see like light coming from around the doorway, and you can hear sounds now, like sound, lots of sounds. You're now realizing how quiet it actually is that deep in the center of the rock. So you're hearing like birds and maybe it's wind and that sort of thing. Your surface level, like you can tell as the doors part, and you get a big shock of very, very bright sunlight and a big wafting smell of like grass and brush and tree and all sorts of foliage, and you are standing inside what you now know is like a fake insert of a really large tree.
Okay.
So as you sort of tumble out,
I've got my gun aimed at all the nature.
Yes, you are emerging from the center of a large tree. It's like got very rough, dark brown bark, and it's about probably 3 people wide. It's a big, massive tree. Most of them around you are like that. They're decently sized, but there's lots of like green and yellow brush undergrowth, and occasionally you'll see like some semi-metallic rocks and that sort of thing, but it's very lush, the vegetation. The soil smells very like fresh and fertile, and yeah, it's a really, really nice little nature scene. And everybody piles out, correct?
Yes, I'll take point and try to make sure it's clear from any dangerous squirrels or hostile songbirds.
All right. Well, I think let's get a group perception check. I think everyone's here. Everyone's kind of looking around. Everyone knows, they're looking for Lieutenant Talek or at least some kind of problem. So yeah, let's do a group check, I think. Difficulty is going to be 2. Yeah. So who's got what here?
Do we each roll?
Well, no. So I'll build the pool on my end, but let's figure out whose stats we're using.
I have a perception dice pool of 1 yellow and 2 green.
I just have 2 green, so
Okay.
2 cunning, 0 perception.
I have 1 yellow, 2 green.
I have 1 yellow.
All right. So that means the best perception we have is a 1 rank, and the best cunning we have is a 2.
Well, I have,
Cunning 3, right?
I have cunning 3, and I have a rank of 1 in perception.
All right. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to need 1 setback die because of like the massive light change and sound change that just occurred. So
Okay.
a lot of bright light. Your eyes need to adjust and everything like that. Anything else?
All right,
What,
so
what was Sully's rank in this again?
I think she had the same rank.
Does it we get a boost dice for that?
Oh, yep. You're
Okay.
absolutely right. You do. Well done. Anything else before I roll it? Let's see how perceptive you
just
are.
make
Adjust fairly quickly since she does this all the time. Go from a dark den to a light outside. I got to work on this arguing for boost die thing. I'm not very good at it.
That
but
was really good, Eileen.
Yeah, I think I'll give it to you.
Oh, thank you.
I'll give it to you.
I try to learn from Joshu.
Yeah, the master.
All
I
right.
beg your pardon. I'm just negotiating.
Let's see what happens.
So-
On your perception. Oh, that's good.
Is it?
No, that's good. Yeah. So you got 2 successes and
And
2 threats.
2 threats.
Okay, okie dokie.
So well done, everyone. That was a good group perception check. Everyone piled out of the lift and ready to go. What you notice is there's some tall grass to the right, like really tall, and you see lots of like reflective shining off of this very like metallic metal. The figure's wearing like a full suit of it. I get it's looks like it's got a lot of different powered advantages that it could possibly be giving them. It's a very like technically advanced kind of suit. They also have a full helmet on that completely covers every bit. In fact, you don't really see any kind of skin whatsoever. And the helmet piece has like a chromed out mask that you're assuming is supposed to look kind of intimidating, because it certainly does. It's giving you that like vague alien skull feel kind of. And they've got like a large pack, and they're holding a blaster rifle as they're sneaking through this tall grass, and they look over at you and they put up one finger and kind of giving you a hand signal to get low. And the 2 threat are the sounds of, Imperials, you assume. You hear shocks and screams and like a little bit of laughter. And whatever that sound is, it's getting closer to you right now.
Well, Pal is possibly going to propose on the spot to the suit of armor. He's entirely enamored and almost forgets to make a repeating hand signal for everyone to duck, as well as he hits the deck and hides in the grass.
Excellent.
Salcolia is going to get down on all 4s, and then she's going to crawl over to try to get a better view of what's going on.
Oh,
That's true.
nice. Yes,
Yep.
you're
We're doomed.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, this grass is like perfect for you. You have that like lion thing where you're almost perfectly well hidden in height, and then occasionally you can like stick your tail out if you need to let everyone know where you are. Yeah, exactly.
Just like
Right.
Except
just
like
her
with
nose and
destruction.
eyes right above the grass, and then whoosh,
Yes.
off, lost into it again.
Periscope with my tail.
Nice.
Right.
Wonderful. All right.
Is the squad looking in any specific way that I can tell?
Yeah, towards the sound of the noise. And they're
So,
like messing with something on the side of the helmet too.
so I kind of sneak behind one of the trees and, so that the tree's between me and the sound that we're hearing.
Yeah.
Right. Skipper takes cover. Smart skipper.
Definitely. I'm going to go behind another tree.
Well, the
And
two of
I'll
you could
be-
probably fit behind the one since you're both relatively smaller in size. So,
And I'm going to attempt to hide in the grass in a kneeling position with my shield up and the gun attached to it.
all right. The heavily armored figure is just, slowly making subtle movements through the grass a little bit forward. They're positioning themselves in a way that that rifle's about to snap up at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
And is anyone close enough to them
I might be.
to where they could like hear them?
I might be. I can be on the approach. Does it seem like you said they're moving? Are they moving away or towards us?
They're moving
Or-
towards that sound, but it's like super slow. It's like slower than a crawl. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's a positioning thing. You can tell they are constantly surveying for the best vantage point if they've got to squeeze off a shot.
Okay, but can I just use a movement to get over there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no like combat going on right now.
Okay, so I'm going to try to get into engaged range and then take cover in the grass next to them and call out that we're, and see if they make any hand signals for me to not make any noise. I'm going to see what's going on up there.
Once you settle in the grass, they turn to you. You get that full face of the, you're kind of reflected in the weird skull thing. You're like, oh, that is kind of really intimidating. That's not great.
Yep.
And they turn
No,
back.
I love it. I want one.
They turn back forward to look towards where that sound is coming from.
Okay. I feel inadequate with just wearing like a bandana and then goggles over my head. I got a little bit of jealousy of the armor going on. I'm just going to say.
So you from the new squadron?
We, all four of us, are all that's left of all the squadron.
Oh yeah, that was accurate? That's not great.
No, wasn't a great day. What do we got going on here?
Got a overzealous squadron thought they could take out a transport that had broken down. ISB rolled up on them, snatched him up real quick.
How many?
There were a couple ISB, at least 4 troopers on the transport, but that's got to be gone by now. They got one of them. They're bringing him through. I don't know what they're doing to him, but they're trying to track something down. And I got all my credit says it's this entrance right here. I think we're gonna need to snap them.
Oh yeah, let's shut them down hard.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on it then. Is this
Well,
we got? How many you got? 4? Is what you had?
Yep. This gun right here included. I've got a pilot back there, and it'll be good for keeping an eye out, but I also have an infiltrator and a Seleucian slicer.
Close.
Well, I think they're coming this way for sure. So get into a flank position. Do what you can. They're pretty sure they're coming this way. I'll drop the agent. You try to take out any of the troopers that are with him.
So I gesture to where he wants us to take flank.
And he nods.
Okay. Yes, I came out of character. All right, I'm gonna try to. How close? I keep an eye out if I can spot Solcudia. She's not a Solcudian. She is
Salonian.
Solonian.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep messing that up. I have been for months.
I'm right up on the lines with you.
You're like, yeah. So you're right there. I would,
Yeah.
right?
Excellent. And then Nullus and Soli are hiding behind a tree.
We
Well-
are.
So do you signal to them, pal, to move to a flank position, or?
It depends on how much cover is available over there in the flank position.
So there's lots of trees. It's pretty peppered throughout, and lots of like high vegetation and grass. And you certainly got the impression that Talek is trying to get some kind of ambush thing here working.
Yes, I would like to bring them sort of into the position with us behind trees, get them to relocate, but still take cover, and just be at like medium range, where I would like to get closer with Sully and myself.
So
I feel like we'd be basically, I'd like us all kind of in the same place, if that makes any sense.
So you're spread out sort of in medium range of where you think these people are coming, like hidden? Is that what I'm picking up from everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Everybody
Okay.
else?
Yeah, everyone? Yep.
So I was thinking,
Excellent.
wait,
All right.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
This is like a, on the fence ambush, but that's okay. That's all right.
Well, this is what I was getting at. I would like them to be at sort of medium range to kind of draw fire, so then Sully and I can come out of cover.
You want your friends to get shot so you could, yeah, all right.
I want them to gather
Yeah.
attention and hide behind trees, and then I want Sully and I to jump out and crush them.
This is I'm assuming Pal discussed this with everyone well in advance, or is this just happening like Pal, like this is how it's going to go down for sure?
We've gotten good at the communication without words. We can use gestures at this point. to
Okay.
communicate. Whether we listen to those gestures,
Right.
that's another problem.
All right. Well, everyone gets into their position, and you can see this. Like there's actually two, what you assume are ISB agents. They're in like dark uniforms with nice little officers' hats, and they've got somebody strapped into like a chair, like a hover chair, and they're moving them through the wooded area. There's a little droid hovering near them that's shocking them occasionally, and one of them's like monitoring it on a data pad, and the other one's trying to like guide the chair. So what you gather from the conversation is that they're trying to gauge heart rate equal to where the entrance is. So they're basically playing hot cold with this rebel that is strapped to a chair.
With the tiny torture bot following him and zapping him in his hover wheelbarrow chair.
Yeah, and you're close enough still, like you swear you could hear like Talek's teeth grind in the helmet. Like this really angers this person that you're with. Like you could feel it from where you are. And then there's two like stormtroopers kind of walking behind them with their blaster rifles, just kind of keeping an eye out for everything else that could be happening.
Okay.
You said
Right on.
4 ISB agents?
There's 2 ISB agents and 2 stormtroopers, plus this rebel in a chair that's getting shocked and owied and not having a good time. They're trying to keep it together, not give away information, but these ISB agents are figuring it out. And they've managed to move directly into position without seeing anyone. So I think we roll initiative right here, right?
Yes.
Yep. Everybody
let's
roll
do
some initiative.
Vigilance?
Vigilance or cool here. Now, see, I think you were aware of this one, so I think this is cool, if I'm not mistaken. And vigilance is when you're surprised or the combat is unexpected. You have set this trap. Oh, okay.
So we,
All right, so we're already ready. We're going. Cool.
And we're all doing cool.
Yep. Oh,
doesn't
shoot,
even
with
matter for
3.
me.
All right. Ooh.
Stone cold.
Wow,
baby.
that is not great for you
Oh my
guys.
gosh.
Sorry about that.
That happened.
All right,
Really?
well, that'll be me then and all of you.
Right? There you go.
We all get a turn. Relax.
Yep, so what I'm going to do is use one of my dark side points, I think, to start
course.
right off. Because somebody broke a twig. Who was it? I think it was Salcodia, your tail. You're not used to the vegetation here. You're used to underground. So you didn't
Right.
notice this like tree thing that you just smacked over with your tail, and it cracked in half and then slammed into some other different like wood chips and then flew through this vegetation. And
Small mammals and birds flew away crying, and it was a whole thing.
absolutely. And then everyone looked up in your general direction. Look up there! Sir, run! Run! And they all start moving around and spreading out. One of the ISB agents ducks behind the chair and like spins it towards you. They're using it as some kind of cover. The 2 stormtroopers spread out to flank and start blaster fire going in your general direction. They don't really have anyone sort of pegged out, but they're firing that way. It's slamming into trees, cutting through bushes, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's Star Wars Battle On.
Yes. The other
Yeah.
ISB agent is running the opposite direction to seek cover behind a tree. And that's what everyone did on my turn.
Okay.
Do we have a certain order that we can go in?
You guys get to decide what order you want. Technically, you're all next. We didn't really need. No one got a triumph, so no one gets a bonus thing. So yeah, you just get to decide what order you take your actions in.
What I would like to do, if you guys concur with this, is you said one of the stormtroopers had a data pad and he's controlling the droid. I have a data pad. I was wondering if I could hack into his data pad to then get control of the droid for us.
Ooh, you want to try a remote hack into the ISB agent's data pad from here?
Yes.
Well, I'm
of
assuming
my-
as you are a slicer, you would have all of the necessary apps, for lack of a better word, on your data pad to make this happen.
One of my talents is bypass
yeah.
security too.
What does that do? Does that remove the
remove-
setback die I'm about to give you?
Yeah. Per rank of bypass security from checks made to disable a security device.
All right. Well, I was going to say setback die for ranged and combat situation, but
I was going to say suck it.
rightfully so. No,
Appropriate.
well done. The difficulty is still going to be 3 because you're,
Three.
this is a remote hack. So let's see if you can
Okay.
pull this off. I love
And
this
then-
idea. Do you want to take a
Yeah, it's
maneuver
very
first,
cool.
or are you good like hiding behind the tree?
I'm hiding in the grass.
Right. She's
Right.
near the bush that she disturbed.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah, give it a roll.
Okay, so 3 difficulty dice added.
Oh, you don't
correct?
need to add anything. You just need to. I've already added all of that. You just need to click
Oh.
your skill.
Okay, then I'll do computers. Because I have 2 ranks in that.
Good. That's
Awesome.
what you should use. You're going to select. Oh, it didn't add my difficulty. Oh, no.
Oh no. Too bad.
So just roll
Do I
those.
need to re-roll?
No, you should just roll those separate.
Yeah, I'll just roll them separately real quick. Oh, look at that. Okay, so you were successful with 2 successes, and there'll be 1 threat left. So, yes, you have penetrated the security system on this ISB agent's remote data pad. It's not like super deep into the ISB agent's network. Like it feels like it's like a personal thing. It's not like an office thing, if that makes sense. But it certainly has some sort of control over the droid, maybe even the chair. And you have an advantage.
No.
No?
No,
I
you have a
No.
threat. Ha!
Uh-huh.
You have a threat coming. And that threat is the ISB agent knows you just did that. Hacker
Which is
fight.
also kind of cool.
Hacker fight.
You know, hacker fight.
All right, who's next?
I think Soli is really nervous and kind of jittery. This is her first gunfight in quite a while.
Right?
And so she is going to move out from behind the tree and draw her blaster and take aim at the closest stormtrooper and fire at him.
All right, I will need 2 strain for the extra maneuver for the aim. And the stormtrooper you said is who you're firing at?
Uh-huh.
They are in.
Whoever's closest.
Yep, stormtrooper is closest, so that's a difficulty of 2 based on the range. And I'll go ahead and add your boost die here, 2. There you go. So take your shot.
Alrighty.
Got this, Soli.
Ranged light.
Give them the pew pew
Oh,
or the happy crab.
Oh,
happy crab. That's all I got, unfortunately, was an advantage.
Oh no, well I messed up your boost die actually, so I got to roll that separately. That's my
Oh.
fault. Oh,
Okay.
but it blanked. Okay, so all you got was an
Okay.
advantage. So what does this
Right.
look like when you're firing at the stormtrooper as they're trying to run up to this treed, wooded area where you are?
Right. Well, unfortunately, she's revealed her position and
Mhm.
probably Nullis's too, unless we were behind different trees. I don't know, Nullis. Were we behind different trees at this point?
We were behind the same, but you have an advantage.
Right. So her advantage is that, well, since she peeked out from behind the tree, that she got a really good look at where the rest of the attacking group is, and she's going to have a much easier time aiming next time because she knows where people are.
Perfect. Pal, Nullis?
Pal would like to. Right now, he's in a crouched position with the shield up and the gun attached to it.
Yep.
Can he take? So, do I still have a maneuver?
Yep. Maneuver in an action. And then you
So
can take an
for my
additional maneuver for 2 strain.
Okay, I'm going to get. Would it be? Is it a maneuver to go prone?
That is a great question. I think so, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go prone, so I'll have I'll to make it harder for them to hit me.
Yep.
But I'm still using the shield, and I'm going to spend 2 strain in order to take aim and fire at one of the stormtroopers.
All right.
That's simple.
Roll
Now,
it.
while I'm
you
using
yourself.
the shield,
Yeah?
when I'm using the shield with the gun attached to it, it generates a setback die
Okay.
for me to aim.
I
But
got
I'll
that
be
in
adding
there.
a boost dice. Okay. So I just
And
and then
then
I'm just
I'll give you an aim die as well. So I got your
Okay,
aim boost
thanks.
die. So 1 boost,
And
1 setback, 2 difficulty, and then your skill. See if I did this
And-
right.
I think we'll see. It's going to be range light.
Yes. Yep, that looks
Lots
right.
of crabs. Crab
Lots
City.
of crab vantage.
I know, man. All that was So
And this is
Probably-
a slug thrower, right?
yes.
So what is this like?
It's not a blaster. Well, it's a bullpup slug thrower. It kind of makes. It's kind of quiet. It's not a lot of bangs. It's almost sounds like it has a silencer on it.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense. It doesn't have loud chemical report because it uses electromagnetics in its caseless ammunition, so it doesn't eject any shells. It just kind of sprays like 223 rounds, like.
It sounds a lot cuter in my head than that. Like ding 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 ding. But yeah, okay, we'll go with that. I like that. Ding 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 ding. Yeah. I don't know. That's what it sounded like to me. So you litter the ground with these little balls of chemicals and slug.
No, they're not chemicals. They're slugs. They're needle-like slugs. It's almost
Oh,
like
okay.
flechette. They cut through the grass and they kind of keep the stormtroopers pinned, I would imagine. So they're unable to take any maneuvers for fear of being hit with the thing.
All right, that'll be
If that makes any
3
advantages. How many would that
advantages.
cost? How 3?
3.
Okay.
And you can pin the stormtrooper so that they can't take maneuvers.
Yeah.
Done. And you got 1 left.
Well, is that good for a boost die for whoever goes next?
Nullus? What you
Sure.
got?
That's what I would like
That
to
works.
do. Okay.
Okay. So I'm still behind the tree. Do I see the stormtroopers from where I am?
You can like move your, it's a round, so you can kind of position yourself to where you could, pretty easily.
So I would have to take some sort of maneuver to.
Not to see them, no, but to move out from behind the tree, yes.
So in order to shoot, I have to take a maneuver.
Yeah, from where you are.
Okay. So I'm going to take maneuver. I'm going to
Okay.
take a second maneuver to aim.
Okay.
So that would give me a second boost dice. And then just because I don't know how to necessarily do this in roll 20, I have the superior weapon customization. So
That gives you an additional boost die, right?
no, an additional advantage.
Oh, so we'll just remember to add 1 to whatever
Yeah.
comes out. So I've
Yeah.
got 2 difficulty based on the range and 2 boost die.
Yep.
No setback die. There's been enough combat action going on. Everybody kind of knows what's up, and it's a beautiful day. So,
Okay.
oh, there's a
Thank you,
Yes.
Brendan.
hit. So,
So I only have 1 threat.
yep. What does this look like? What's with your plastic? Oh my gosh, the information on this weapon in Roll20, I'm so excited about.
Okay, so I deal 7 base damage, 2 extra success, so that cranks it up to 7, 8, 9, right?
Mhm.
Because the first success doesn't get me an addition.
I think it was a one per success, if I'm not mistaken. I might have
Okay.
always done that wrong, but I think we've always counted the first one.
Okay, so that's 10 damage. I do have 1 threat.
Yep. So the 1 threat is going to be from the kickback of the weapon. So you sort of stumbled a little bit when you came out, and you weren't in a good solid hit position when you took the shot. So you're going to have a setback die if you fire next time you fire, next round, you're gonna have to like re-grip it basically, unless you
Okay.
take a maneuver. But you do manage to destroy one of these minion stormtroopers. So what does this look like?
This gets this real good solid hit on this guy. Hits him this dead solid mass, and the stormtrooper just propels backwards onto his
Nice.
back and just doesn't get up.
Slides across the ground, vegetation parting as this now
Yeah.
deceased stormtrooper goes flying out of the combat. Wonderful. And that's back around, correct? Round 2?
Yes, in case our mysterious silvered skull specter does anything.
Oh yes, and he does for sure. So you were wondering exactly when that's going to happen, as if like maybe the GM forgot there was an NPC here, but that's not what happened. Talik's just been waiting. And the stormtrooper that's been hiding behind, the ISB agent that's been hiding behind that chair, they've been spinning the chair around, using it defensively, trying to square up a good shot at Nullus, and then just a little cloud of ick where his head was, as a big, thick blast of energy goes straight through it, leaving nothing but fragment and dust behind.
Zoom! Okay.
And the body falls over to the side. And now
Brilliant.
we're back around, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful.
How would
So that guy was on
applaud.
our side.
I'm sorry?
That was the rebel.
Yes, that
Yes.
was
I thought you were
Talik.
playing the stormtrooper for some reason.
No.
I was like, why would he do that? Okay.
Nope. There is
Okay.
one ISB agent and one stormtrooper remaining.
Okay.
The ISB agent has recently found out about a hacker that's up in their data pad that they are not enjoying right now. And they are frantically trying to solve this situation. So, Salculia, I am going to try to kick you off my device. So I think this is going to be a contested roll, because I should have refreshed myself on the slicing mechanics a little bit more, but I like this as a contested roll. So
I also
what
have
is
defensive
your...
slicing.
Yes, so that'll remove the setback die, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So what is your computer skill? That will be my difficulty.
My computer skills. That's rank, correct?
Yep.
2.
And then what's your characteristic?
For
A computer?
characteristic for a computer? Oh, you mean an intellect?
Yeah.
It's 2.
So 2 and 2. Okay.
2 and 2.
Perfect. All right, let's see how my ISB agent does. I probably have a setback die because there's lots of shooting, and now I'm behind a tree trying to hack stuff. I don't like that, but that's probably accurate.
For my defensive slicing, did you add a setback for yourself?
Oh, no, I didn't.
When defending computer systems, add a setback per rank of defensive slicing to opponent's checks.
Oh, no, this is bad.
I'm learning,
Yes.
Ross.
Oh, no.
Yes.
All right,
That is-
I'm rolling it.
You're doing
Ah, no. Look, neither of them blank. Seriously? All right, I failed to get you out of my system. I am left with only an advantage, unfortunately, which I
Never
am
gonna
going
give
to use to put a tag on you.
Wait. A tag, like hashtag?
Yeah,
Hashtag get
you could
out.
think that, but more like a tag, like you would tag a wild animal you intended on studying.
To my computer or to my physical self?
Not to your physical self. That would be
Okay.
a completely overpowered talent, but one I would expect more in like a Force and Destiny game.
Right, the
Might be
computer
okay.
jumps out
Yeah.
and puts a radio tag. on it.
Yes.
Do I know about this tag?
Yeah, you got tagged. So they have information about you that you probably don't want them to have. Yep.
I imagine I have like 20 firewalls.
Yes, and they got through all of them with my advantage.
Oh.
Well, you open yourself up once you infiltrate another system. Now, you can't walk through a front door with a closed front door. So it just
True.
had to work out like that, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I have a pinned stormtrooper who cannot take any maneuvers from their current vantage point, but
Oh,
can,
goody.
but can see Nullus from where they stand, which is not great. So we're going to have us a little shooty time at you.
There's always me. I'm out there.
You are, but you
Yeah.
didn't just
Cover
pop out from
behind a
behind a
shield.
tree and shoot his friend. So
I did not shoot his friend, unfortunately. No.
Yeah.
I'm kind of upset that I didn't get to draw that much fire. All right.
we got to shoot back at friends rule here.
Yeah, and you have ranks of defense going right now, whereas
I do.
I'm just
Yeah.
standing out right in the open.
Yeah,
Middle finger up in the air, like, how's your friend?
I know. You're like, ow, my wrist. I wasn't expecting this recoil. Time out.
Uh-oh. Well, I hit you.
I was worried
Okay.
about this.
So that is not great because that is a blaster rifle. So I got no advantages, but I've got like 11 damage coming at you, Nullus. What do you have?
Is it?
For soak,
Yeah.
something real low, like 3.
Oh no. So they're pinned down for sure. There's all of this fire exploding around, cutting vegetation, but they don't lose you. You shot their friend. That was their squad mate. That is somebody they went to Camp Hope with. And they just squeeze the trigger and don't stop. This big, meaty energy burst flying all around you, slamming into your arm and leg as you're trying to dodge between foliage and plant and rock. And yeah, you take how much damage?
So you said 11?
11 was coming at you.
Yeah, so 3, 8.
8 is not great. That's a significant portion of your wounds, I'm suspecting.
8 out of 12.
Yes.
Yeah, like 3.
So
yeah.
Nullus got lit up. He got hit multiple times with blaster fire. And I'm assuming sort of dove behind a tree to try to avoid any more.
All right.
And that's all of you, though, so yay.
Okay. May I take a shot at this jerk for shooting my skipper?
Absolutely. You want to fire at the stormtrooper you have pinned down?
Yes. So I'm going to take I'm going to take my maneuver since I'm already laying down and I have it moved in order to take aim and then fire at him. I've got
All right.
ace. So I do have a set. It's the same pool as before, I guess. I have a setback die and a boost die.
Yep. And it
Okay.
is all set up. Go ahead and
All right,
roll a
come on.
difficulty 2 based on range. Oh, what?
I didn't. How did that happen? Man,
Wow.
I guess this slug throwers can't really get through that armor.
No, it's just the vegetation's not as thin as you think it is. But
It should be by now with all the missing. Okay.
you can pin
Oh,
them
that's-
again.
I think I could pin them and then make them sad and want to give up. I mean, that's a lot of advantages.
I mean, you could make them like drop their weapon. Like there's quite a bit you
If
can
I
do
can
with
make
that.
them, if I can make them disarm with that, yes. How many will that take?
I'm gonna need 3, but they'll drop their weapon where it is.
And they'll still be pinned at another 3, right?
Yep, pinned and
So
dropped
I'll
weapon.
spend those.
All right, 6 advantages gone.
Okay, then that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to yell to try to get his attention. I don't want them to keep. I'm trying to distract them so they don't fire at. When I heard the grunts of pain behind me, I don't want them to wind up hitting either Sally or my skipper again.
Gotcha. Salcolia, what are you doing?
So I'm ticked off that I got tagged still.
Yep.
So I'm gonna move closer to the trooper that did that, and I'm
Okay.
gonna pull out my holdout blaster and
So
stun
you're
him.
just now abandoned, like, they tagged me, you're gonna drop your data pad and charge them with a glaive now.
I'm not gonna drop it. I'm gonna put it in my little
I-
fur pocket.
All right. So it'll be
If
a
I might
maneuver.
recommend,
Well,
Eileen,
Yes.
the glaive, not the holdout blaster, the big giant stabby spear axe.
I have to move real close. Oh, okay.
It's going to be so much cooler.
well, no, you're right. You don't have the maneuvers to get to engaged, but you do have the maneuvers.
But
If
yeah, I
you
have to be
take
real
2
close to
strain to put your computer away properly, draw a weapon, and shoot.
I'm a shoot with the stun setting because I want to make this man suffer.
All right. Well, I think you would trigger that with advantages, if I'm not mistaken.
Trigger what? My weapon?
The stun setting, do you know how that works? Or is that an addition that you've put on the gun? Or
It's a
I think it's a
special, so I
switch.
have no.
Yeah,
idea.
it's just
It's the switch one, so it just does. Okay, perfect.
yeah. So mechanically, that
It just
would
does.
that
It-
would normally do damage to the character's strain, but
It's a minion, so it's the same
be a
difference.
minion,
Yeah.
and minions don't have strain; they just take wounds in lieu of taking strain.
Cool. Well, you're
So
gonna.
I mean,
you're
mechanically,
gonna-
it doesn't change much.
Yeah. So you're gonna get a setback die for the cover, Sokoldia. But go ahead. Difficulty 2 based on range.
Ranged light, correct?
Yes.
Which I have 1 rank in. Okay, here goes.
Oh, pal, how mad are you? How mad are you?
No, I'm cool with it.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny her success for crying
Great.
out loud.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. So how much damage does that do?
It says 5.
5. Perfect.
5 damage.
So that is a lot of strain damage, but unfortunately they do have like that. Oh no, this is the ISB agent. Oh
Yeah.
no. They don't have lots of good fancy armor on.
Oh, it's the agent? I thought you were going after the stormtrooper. You're going after the agent that you were hacking against?
Yes.
Yes, he tagged me.
Oh, yes.
I got to get my information back.
Now we see the similarities to a Wookiee going on here. This is what I was
They've got
expecting.
important stuff on that data pad that they
Never
cannot get their
stop
hands
hack.
on.
Never lose a hack to to a whatever you are, a Salonian.
Exactly. I got cocky.
Yep. And just
No,
all
not
the
for
times
that.
they've made fun of the stormtroopers as
You
bucket
got-
heads and everything like that, you'd think they would have worn armor because they don't have any on, and that is enough to put them out.
Zap.
So these big blue rings extend around them, and they fall to the ground unconscious in the tall grass.
Good.
Soli, Nullus, I believe.
Yes, sir. First of all, she's going to notice that Nullus has been hit and go, Nullus, are you okay? My gosh. And she's going to crawl over, she's going to drop flat on her belly and crawl over to Nullus. She doesn't have any stim packs with her, but she is going to either yell or calm Salcodia and say, Nullus is hit. We need stim packs over here now. And then she is going to shoot at the same stormtrooper again
All right.
from the prone position.
All right. Well, the dice pool is set up perfectly.
Alrighty. I'll take my...
So you're yelling for support and stim packs because Nullus is down, maybe. Oh no! But we've still
Yeah,
got
she
a
was
little
counting on being able to steal all the stuff that she needed, but she hasn't had a chance yet. So she doesn't have what she needs.
bit. Let's see how she shoots.
All right.
Oh no!
Oh!
Not great.
She's
Darn.
a terrible shot. I'm going to start.
Well, you're like moving. You're really concerned about Nullus, so this is more like cover fire than real like aiming fire.
And it is Star Wars. There's lots of blaster fire flying everywhere all the time.
Yes, certainly, probably drawing a lot of unwanted attention at this point. But Nullus, what are you doing?
So I'm prone on the ground right now.
Yes.
Do I have access to my blaster still?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Do I see the stormtrooper that was shooting at me?
Yes, from here. I mean, you have to kind of part the grass a little bit, but yeah.
Okay. I re-aim my weapon, and I shoot at him.
Excellent. So you kind of
So I
lean.
have a setback and a boost dice on this. The
So you sort of
setback-
lean back into Sully for support, bring your weapon up to your shoulder, and take a shot.
Well, kind of hold it out. It's a pistol, so.
Gotcha. Roll it. That was a pistol that you did. Oh,
Well, it has that superior weapon customization, so it's +1 damage, and also I automatically generate an advantage.
gotcha. All right. Well, I got the
Okay,
pool set up.
nice.
Give it a roll.
You have it set up?
Yep.
Okay. And I just generate advantages.
Yes.
Pew pew.
Yeah, so can I make it so that the stormtrooper has a setback dice on his return fire?
Absolutely. So your blaster fire makes them position themselves in a way that is disadvantageous for them, which
Yeah.
might be very helpful as Talek still has to go this round. Yeah, that's what you'd like to do?
Yeah.
Both those advantages? All right. Done.
Actually, it's 3 technically because I add.
Oh, you're right. I was only taxing you 2. You got 1 left. What do you want?
I have the ability to. I get an additional boost dice on the next. If we go another round. Of
Okay.
combat.
You don't think that is a high possibility. As you look across the field, Talek has stood up now. So no longer sort of seeking cover, that nice metal armor glinting in the daylight, and they raise their blaster rifle up and shoot. And I don't need to roll this at this point. This person is in a disadvantageous position. There's all sorts of blaster fire. All of his friends are down, and Talek has absolutely no problem finishing him off. Just a couple quick rounds, the stormtrooper falls forward. And that's
Nice.
the battle. The calm starts setting in almost immediately when there's no more blaster fire. That rebel is still strapped to the chair, but they're breathing a little easily now that they're not being tortured, and everyone else seems to be either unconscious or dead.
Telcolia walks up to the ISB agent that's stunned on the ground, and she stomps on his data pad and crushes it.
Oh no!
Nice.
That's cool.
No more tag.
When you do that, the restraints on the chair beep and slide off, and the rebel can get out of the chair and falls to their hands and knees and starts breathing heavily.
Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. See, my selfishness had a benefit.
That's right, and it was cool.
Sully's going to run up to Salcildi and say, Salcildi, you have any stim packs? I need one right now.
Yeah, here's one.
She's going to run back and slap Nullus on the backside with the stim back and give him back some of his wounds.
Excellent. That'll be 5 wounds returned to Nullus.
All right.
Talek starts making his way through the grass towards you, and he reaches to his side holster and pulls out this big blaster pistol and just kind of holds it out to you like, do you want this maybe? Or you can use this.
Sure. I'm interested in picking up some of those rifles and modifying them to work with the shield. But first I want to check on this captive and make sure he's okay.
All right. Well, oblivious to the vague insult that Talek was just trying to put down, you push past and run over
I
to...
waved it off, man. That's cool. I'm gonna do my job and check on this person's
Nice.
well-being.
All
And
right.
Then I'm gonna scoop up all of the guns that are left on the battlefield.
Well, so you approach this downed rebel. They're breathing very
Yes.
heavily on their hands and knees. Just
Yeah, I
Thank
come
you,
and check
thank
on them.
you.
Are you okay?
I
offer
am.
them some water out of my flask.
I mean, it's just me, though. They took everybody else to Camp Hope.
Camp Hope? Where's that?
It's on the mainland, just across the way in the other park area. I mean, it's Camp Hope.
All right. Are there any more of these imps nearby?
No, I think they probably moved the transport. I don't know where everyone else is.
Okay. Drink some water. Sit there, take some deep breaths, sit up. I'm going to look at the perimeter, which is code for picking up all the Imperial rifles.
The perimeter is clean. You walk a little bit of the ways after gathering weaponry and that sort of thing, and you can start to
seeing
see
what loot I can grab.
You can start to see the city through the trees a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you have to walk a little bit, but you're doing a good scope. You're up on a hill. You're climbing the side of a tree a little bit. You can start to see
looking
big
for another
city
squad,
portions.
maybe, that sort of thing. Exactly.
And you don't see anything, luckily. So
Okay.
there
But I do
doesn't
see the
seem to
city.
be any massive Imperial threat here now.
Okay.
But there very well might be next week on episode 3, because that is going to do it for the episode tonight, everyone.
Okay.
So you gather your loot, you take your time, since you have it, to pull rifles and armament and all that sort of stuff, everything that a good rebel could care about. Luckily, the
Yep, and
elevator's right there, so.
Yeah, and tend to our wounded and get them back safely.
And what do you do with your friend, Selkulia? Do you leave them here?
No, I'm gonna swing him over my shoulder like he's nothing, and then walk back.
So, Pal,
Exactly.
all the gear, Nullus and Soli are on the lift. Selkulia's got the ISB. Just, I'll take the next one. All right, yeah. Perfect. So eventually, everyone disappears back into the rebel base through this escape/entrance hatch on the Atreyu City mainland. And we'll find out what happens next week, everybody. So thank you. Tell everyone where they can find you. Plug all the things if you would like to.
Yeah,
Or just say
come see
goodbye,
us next week,
everybody.
Find us here next week on Tuesday.
There you
Yep.
go.
Bye, guys.
Well done.
Same Parsh time, same Parsh channel.
Right. Thanks.
Well, thank you everyone for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed the game. We got some combat. We wanted to practice some of this Roll20 stuff, so I think we did it mostly good this time. Thank you so much for joining us. Big thank you to Brendan for allowing us to make this whole executive producer stream season. And thank you to all of our patrons. Thank you to everyone for showing up and following and liking all the things. Thank you, thank you. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Bye.